I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Mexico City Golden Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Mexico City Golden Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, from Mexico City, our visitors, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Orchestrating the offense, the former three-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Falcons coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. Let's discuss this offense now, and Julian Edelman, very good player.
Has really developed into a terrific slot receiver, and a lot of times he would be the primary receiver. Still mad coming out of college that he's not a quarterback in the NFL. He takes it out on the opposing defenses.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Got it. Check right. Watch 55. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Big grip.
To throw is Mendoza. Throwing on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Hey, Zoo. Mike 55. Mike 55. Target. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat. Ready.
Now Mendoza. Going to throw again. And that one taken in by Lashley. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On the set. Mike 55. Mike 55. Here it comes. Get it.
Completes it to Benjamin. And he will take it in for the touchdown.
Let's go.
Kelvin Benjamin with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd
So
down.
the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Mendoza operating from the gun. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. In for the score. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. That's two really excellent drives for them to start this ball game, both ending with touchdown passes.
In big picture, they look great, don't they? Like a well-oiled machine right now. But let's down focus a little bit and talk about the guy calling the signals and throwing the passes. He is playing with precision right now, scanning the field and making excellent throws.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a carry for Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here are our visitors to take over on offense. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here I come. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. In your face. Mike.
To throw on 2nd down, Mendoza. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
There to make the tackle, Samson Ebukam.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Mendoza now to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On the ground, McCaffrey, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Cousins. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there, huh?
Cousins from the gun on third. And finding Keelan Cole. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 21-0 our score after one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Here's Bernard. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. He's going to find Gallup here complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Cousins. He'll find Miller. That's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle but couldn't spring himself free. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are our visitors to take over on offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Ready? 54. Mike 54. Down to lose 1.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. They find some open field here. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Let's go.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And here's Mendoza. From the gun, he'll throw. And he'll find Lastly there. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. On the ground, McCaffrey. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Come on, QB, come on. Hey, General West.
To throw is Mendoza. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Now Mendoza throwing on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. The fourth down pass play doesn't work out. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The hot 180. 51's the mic. Let's go, defense. Our time. This our time.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. He's got the hook up to Miller. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Von Miller, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there. 46 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
On the ready.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is McCaffrey, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Here's McCaffrey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Mendoza operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th down, Mendoza. This is caught. It's Julian Edelman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Mendoza. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the drive there took 6 plays.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try to isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. From the 25 on second down, Cousins, Von Miller in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. Really nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he's got room. And all the way in for the touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game, as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. First down. Here's Cousins. The throw taken in by Cole. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. Cousins now got an open man, Keelan Cole, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Hey, pick your game up.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Cousins to throw it. And that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one may be his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Mendoza now. Off play action. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
And the Mexico City first down.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit, but first let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started out on the West Coast in Oakland, and it is the Jets who have the lead in that one. Taywan Taylor, a touchdown reception. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Sterling Shepard, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. The Rams locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to...
And he's going to go down again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. So they went gutsy. Instead of getting some space with a conservative run, they throw the football at a big third-down conversion.
Yeah, that's just what I said, wasn't it? Didn't I say they were going to throw the ball?
Revisionist history.
Ah, that's right. But I took a shot.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Set up. 18 Gator. Mike's 5-4. Get your swerve on. 5.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. 25 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Makes the score, Golden Eagles 42.
That time a 6-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings it 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins, short throw to Disley. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Cousins, and this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Ready, set.
And with the play clock running out, Sean McVay will take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
You better bring it.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And all the way up to the 46. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Mendoza. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw. Mendoza. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And here's Mendoza off the play fake. Open man is Lastly. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Mendoza. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
51. I got one.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A draw play. Bernard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Makes the score Golden Eagles 56.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
This is Howard on second down. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Mario Davis on the tackle.
Let's go, D.
A gain of a yard.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Cousins now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Completes it to Miller. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Anthony Miller. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 45-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Bernard. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, we've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins on the screen. Bernard. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
Watch the screen.
To throw, Cousins. Open out on the left side, this is Cole. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the draw, here's Bernard. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Throwing, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Out is Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, a tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schlep Rock, got that black cloud over their heads.
Julian Edelman gets ready to take the field again here on offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
McCaffrey. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie. Get that quarterback and all. Ready.
To throw is Mendoza on 1st and 10. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Give him 32 on the play.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Get it.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
54. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Fire.
They'll try to run this one in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Abuka with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The decision to go for it doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
At the 5-yard line.
They go with Howard again. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Jahan, 180! 51. Bandit. 51's the mic, boys.
Now Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Johnny Hekker now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are visitors to take over on offense. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They'll run with McCaffrey. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
51 to Mike. Watch the pass.
A first down throw for Cousins. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd.
Throwing is Cousins. This throw over the middle taken in by Cole. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
so on the other side of the field now, it's first and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Cousins. It's complete. It's Miller. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. To throw is Cousins. He's going to find Gallup here complete. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Bernard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a second and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Here's Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. Myers' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows. and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Mendoza throwing to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now a pass here caught by Edelman. And now past another. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Come on, set.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I got him. Now.
Looking to throw. Mendoza gets this one to Juszczyk. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Cousins now. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And this will be taken at the 13. Now, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are visitors to take over on offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Mendoza, off play action. Benjamin's got it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on fourth down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. There he goes left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Lutz will look to add the extra point.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll begin here with Bernard. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Jahan, what I need? Mike, 51. I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his pass incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. And this will be incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And finding Keelan Cole. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Cousins to throw it. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Von Miller in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Cousins. The catch made by Miller. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. One last shot now for Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for our visitors, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.
chase W's. Uno, no, I can't be number 2. MVP, the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I move like catch this breeze free. Stop you in your tracks. There's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose to focus on your position. Just know you stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy. I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase the